I've been using AI for about 2 years now, and I still don't actually know which image generator is best. So I asked 3 people in my house, the ones with the wildest imaginations. That's right, the kids. My twins, who are 6, designed one creature, and my 11-year-old designed another. I took the same briefs, used 3 AIs. We're going to use ChatGPT, Midjourney, and Nano Banana in Gemini today. And one of them missed the brief so badly, I actually had to go back and make sure I'd given it the right prompt. And given the one that failed, I was shocked. All right, quick rules before we start to make this a fair test and we can judge it consistently throughout. So, I asked the kids to describe a fantastical beast. No reference images, no examples, just whatever came spilling out of their heads. And my God, it came spilling out of their heads. I recorded the voice notes, transcribed them word for word, and those exact words went into all 3 AIs as the prompt. Beast 1, a joint effort designed by the twins together. They called it the 667 monster. I don't know, I still don't get it. Beast 2, designed by my 11-year-old. She wanted a red dinosaur covered in snakes. We'll get into what else she wanted in a minute. Now, I'm scoring each output on 4 things. 3 points each. The brief accuracy. Did it include what the kid asked for? The creative interpretation. Did the AI get the spirit of what it wanted? Was it child appropriate? Would I actually print this? And as a usable output, is it finished? So, 3 points per category, 12 points max in total. Highest total wins. Let's go on to Beast 1. So first up, we are going to look at the mystical, wonderful creature that my twin boys came up with. I sat down with them, threw a few questions at them, and it was an interesting conversation, to say the least.
Or in space.
Or in a different galaxy. My one is in a different galaxy and it's on Mars.
This went on for 20 minutes. But luckily for you, I won't make you sit for all of that. I have summarised it all over here. This is what the boys' mystical creature will look like. It's the 667 monster, and here's the specs. Now, I've taken this whole transcript and I transcribed it. Importantly though, I've kept all of their language. I've not changed any of their descriptive phrases. That's the important thing with this test, to see what happens. All right, so first off, I'm going to come into Midjourney and you can see the prompt up here. I will also put the prompt down in the description or one of the comments as well, so you can grab this and you can have a play with it as well. So I am going to go ahead and kick this off in all 3 of the AIs. So we'll kick that off in Gemini, come in here and we'll kick it off in Nano Banana as well. And then finally, we'll come all the way over here into ChatGPT, paste in exactly the same prompt, and we will send that off on its merry way as well. Right. All 3 of those have now generated. It's been interesting. So here are the results. First up, we can see ChatGPT's attempt at this. So it's got the rainbow fur, it's got the 3 velociraptor heads, the white scales, the 4 wings with the pink feathers and the brown and white fur underneath. It's got the Mars setting with the galaxy. It's hit every point on the brief. The style is cohesive. The heads are clearly the velociraptor shape. The legs, I'm not counting to see if there's 1,000, but we get the point. Excellent work. Moving on. Gemini. Again, we can see 3 heads. It's got pink wings, fur. It's on Mars. We know it's on Mars because look in the background. You can see the Mars rover. Excellent work and scene setting. Wings are fluffy as briefed. Got a kind of brown white dog fur on the bottoms on there. So strong as well. Strong again. And just a beautiful piece. I actually low-key love this. Now, finally, Midjourney. It's got the 3 heads, it's got the fur, a Mars-ish setting, it's got wings. It's like they're one feather as opposed to being made up of feathers. There's no fur on the bottom. It definitely looks more like a stylized concept piece. It's less faithful to the brief. Still looks kind of cool, but definitely the weakest of the 3. Here they are all side by side. Right, now then for the scores for these. So, ChatGPT, 3s across the board. Nailed it all round. Excellent work. Midjourney, 2s across the board. 8 in total. Decent, but it missed some points and was a bit generic. Gemini, again, freeze across the board, tied with ChatGPT, but I'm going to give this one to Gemini because the Mars rover in the background was a nice little touch to reference the planet it was actually on. Cracking work. Round one here to Google. Round one done and in the books, and that is the warm-up over. The all three image gen tools have survived the barrage from my 6-year-old twins. Now, next up, my 11-year-old daughter. She's given them something a bit harder. Let's see how they did. So now it's the turn of my 11-year-old daughter to come up with her fantastical beast. Now, this was much quicker. She's at that age. I barely get 2 words out of her anyway, so this is the most words I've had out of her for a long time. So let's go and have a listen to see what it is that she has come up with.
So my mystical, magical mystery animal, that rhymed, it's going to be a red dinosaur with snakes. It has electric sticks all over it and has loads of wings. The colour schemes be red, black and white. So, fighting.
Brilliant. Very different, but still very creative. Summary of what a creature looks like is up there now. So dinosaurs, snakes, feather, wings, red, black and white. So now let's come back over. Let's take that. Because hers was that much shorter, I was able to use an AI tool to literally just transcribe her voice memo. And then I can just copy and paste that straight into the image generation tools. So here we go. Popping that straight into Midjourney over here. That's literally word for word what she said. Now, where this could be a bit more interesting is the twins one was very descriptive and very specific in terms of some of the creatures components. So like the number of legs, the colour fur, the different types of patterns and colours of the wings, for example, the exact description of their heads. Whereas this one that my daughter's done is a little bit more vague and a bit more open to interpretation. So it'll be interesting to see how each of the three image generation tools copes with that and kind of what it does and how it goes down its own way. So without further ado, let's pop this into Midjourney and come over to Nano Banana in Gemini, and equally we'll come over to ChatGPT. We've got the same prompt in there and go. All right, I'm excited to see how these turn out. Let's have a look. So first up, let's have a look at the ChatGPT attempt. So we've got a red dinosaur, we've got a T-Rex shape, snakes erupting from the back, 4 wings. It's got the colours right. Snakes are all definitely there as well and varied. This is a good solid start. Nice one, ChatGPT. Moving on to Gemini's attempt. Okay, nice. So again, we've got the red dinosaur, got multiple wings. We can see 3, maybe a 4th is there somewhere. It's got some snake bodies broken throughout. Decent attempt. I think it's slightly overcomplicated it, and the wings lean more towards being feathered rather than kind of dramatic effect that we had before. But good attempt. And finally, let's move over and have a look at the best attempt from Midjourney. So, starters, this is not a dinosaur. It's just it looks more like a single coiled snake with a dragon head and like a dragon wing for its tail. But there's no T-Rex base. There's no real wings. Certainly no loads of wings. And in terms of the snake forms that was asked for, it is a snake basically. So there's that. But considering that literally this is Midjourney's only job is just an image generation tool, and whilst it was okay with the twins brief, again it missed a lot of things there as well. It's completely fluffed this. Midjourney, sorry, you failed this one hard. So let's look at the scores for my daughter's one. So ChatGPT, freeze across the board, score of 12, definitely the best one of the lot. So much detail, so much adhering to the brief that's given, filling in the blanks incredibly well where it needs to. Cracking. Midjourney, being generous, could be generous, 0 at 2. Genuinely, completely, well, not completely off brief. The colours were right. That's pretty much it. Finally, Gemini, 2 across the board, solid, but certainly lost out to ChatGPT's clarity. So let's have a look at the final combined scores, and the overall winner is ChatGPT with its new Image Gen 2.0 that came out a couple of weeks ago. Gemini in second with 20 points. Nano Banana doing a cracking job all round, but just not hitting that some of the levels of detail that ChatGPT did. And Midjourney at a distant third with 10 points, dragged down entirely by my daughter's brief, and a massive fail there. And even with the twins brief in the first one, it was still definitely the worst out of the three.
So this was all a bit of fun, but what does it actually mean for you? If you're a parent who occasionally needs to make something for your kids, a birthday card, a homework illustration, a thank you note, then the answer from the test is clear. ChatGPT is the only one that handled both briefs flawlessly without breaking the specific details, the weird combinations, the kid logic. It followed them all. Gemini, certainly a solid second if you want atmospheric cinematic outputs like the Mars Rover detail it added to Beast 1 was a really nice touch. But on the harder brief, it played safer than ChatGPT did. And Midjourney makes gorgeous standalone art, and it creates its images in a very different way compared to the other two models, but it's just not what we asked for. And so, look, before I kick this off, if you'd asked me, I would have said that Midjourney would have been the gold standard here, given that it's literally its only job is image generation. That's its whole thing. But I was wrong. Test the tools, don't test the hype. And for comparison, both ChatGPT and Midjourney launched their latest image gen models around the same time. So image gen 2 for ChatGPT came out a couple of weeks ago, and Midjourney 8.1, their latest one, literally came out in the last week. So we're comparing their latest models together that have come out around the same time. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss it, and all the other AI hints and tips that I'll put out there for you. Thank you for watching. Stay peachy.